How's it going, ding dongs? Welcome back to Ding Dong Drift. Today's video, we are mounting the crazy 3D printed fenders that I designed in the last video. Let's not even do any talking, let's just get right into it. So in the last video, I didn't really show the design of the fender that much, but if we look, you can see basically the main attachment points for the fender are right here, the top flange, which is gonna mount right here. And you can see I have it already marked for how much more I need to trim off. Like I said in the earlier video, I didn't have much room to work with inside of here to still maintain good clearance between the wheel and the fender liner, which then brings me to the fender liner. And that is gonna be mounted with 3 or 4 bolts right here. And that should keep it all rigid. And I'll probably make like little clips right here that join the fender to the fender liner, but it's all going to be made out of 1 plug, 2 molds with many different parts. But today what we're doing is trimming a lot so that this will actually fit. If you remember in the last video I mentioned there's a lot of interference, so the thing that has to be cut is mostly the fender and then this whole edge here. I'm gonna trim this all to the inner part here. All this is getting cut off. This whole edge I'm gonna weld together so the pieces don't separate, because right now they're just literally held together with little tiny tack welds or spot welds. All right, there we go. It's all mounted. It's actually only held in with 2 bolts. You see those inside of there? 2 bolts. That's all it's holding it on, and it's freaking staying where it should be. I mean, this is sagging a little bit because obviously there's absolutely nothing holding it up here, but it fits awesome. Fits, look at that. Look at that gap. There isn't one. It's perfect. Just a couple self-tappers from the inside, a little bit of glue, and we're good to go. However, we already know that I'm an idiot, but I did another idiot thing. I cut off too much of the metal here, so I have nothing to glue to. And the thing that I did was I measured in the program, I measured the distance from here to the print, which is 30 millimeters. And that's where I cut. I was supposed to add this many millimeters to glue to. I done goofed pretty big. This is gonna have to be fiberglassed. There we go. Moment of truth. Look at that. That's it. That's as far as it goes. Frickin' mint. Legit. That's pretty close right there. Let's take a step back and look at that. That looks frickin' awesome. When it's in colors like this, it makes it really hard to see the vision. But once it's a solid color, this is gonna look freaking amazing. All right, I'm gonna do the other side. I'm not gonna film it. And then once I'm able to glue both sides, I'll come back and film that. All right, well, it's been a little while, but both the fenders are fully mounted. Now it's time to take them off again, sand the inside, sand the original metal fenders, and then glue everything on with some panel bond. The only issue on both sides is that this part, I don't know why, you can see it's lower than it should be. But I can fix that, but just by heating this up, or yeah, I'll probably just heat it up and then just push it in with like a screwdriver or a piece of metal or something. And there we have it. Both fenders are glued on. Gonna let this sit overnight. I did drop this one before gluing it, and I broke this little piece, so hopefully I can find it somewhere in the garage. I don't know where it is. If you remember this piece, I cut it, the fender, too much. What I did was I back taped it and then put the panel bond on the tape and then put the panel on, and then used my little silicone release tape on top. So hopefully these two pieces will now be joined together nicely. And once this glue hardens, it will be hopefully rigid enough that I can take it off and it won't separate and blah, blah, blah. And then I can fiberglass it from the back. And it's the next day and everything is fully cured. You can see everything's nice and sturdy. It even held right here. You can see this is no longer flexing. This is just the glue holding, like with a gap, filling a gap with tape, completely solid. I love panel bond. Oh, and what's this? Little sneak peek, little test fit. Look how nice this fits. Just push that up. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. And right here, this little fin here. Headlight's gonna go inside of here. Bumper's almost done, halfway finished. Subscribe so you don't miss that, because that's next video right there. But today, we're doing the fenders. So let's pull all this off and start reinforcing it. All right, well that was a bunch of work. You can see everything is coated. Got the door, except that fender I didn't have enough epoxy for. We're at a good point. So the drift event is no longer happening. It was moved to July 19th, so I'm doing my own little meet on May 17th at 10 a.m. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see the post for the address and everything. If you guys want to come, you can see the car completely finished. So I'm filming this on Thursday, and this video is going to be out for patrons today, but for everybody else, obviously it will be out Friday or today now that you're watching this, so that you guys know that the meet is happening and hopefully can plan for it pretty quickly. Everything's coated, so now the car is ready to be block sanded, at least all of this stuff. I'm not gonna do that today. Today is 90 degrees and it's super windy and really annoying, and the freaking helicopters are everywhere. Look at all those freaking things. They're filling everything. So that's why I keep the garage closed, because otherwise they just fill the garage with helicopters. So next up, block sanding, and a little sneak peek for you guys. Front bumper is on. That's what's next. I gotta sand it, coat it, and reinforce it from the inside. Same thing like I did with the fenders. The inside of these fenders need to be reinforced as well. You can see this is still pretty flexible, so I'm gonna put a piece of carbon fiber on the inside there, because the inside mold isn't really gonna matter. It's kind of ugly. I'm actually gonna try to just vinyl wrap the inside and not even do any coating or anything. Maybe do a little bit of coating, but it's gonna, you know, it's the inside fender well. It doesn't have to be pretty, so I don't really care how it looks. I'm not gonna do all this body work like I do on the outside. Car is drivable. I mean, I already drove it. Everything's fine. It's actually quieter now than it used to be because the wheel wells are covered, both front and rear. Can't hear any more pebbles or anything. Nothing's rubbing, but the amount of space in here between the wheel and the fender is very small. I'm expecting this area to definitely rub, especially at full lock. That's definitely gonna rub. And I don't care, I'm gonna let it rub. It will, you know, self-clearance, and then I'll reinforce it and make the mold, because what better way to make something fit than to self-clearance, which is the beautiful part of using plastic. It just rubs away pretty easily or melts. It's gonna be time for body work pretty soon. Gonna be filling all these gaps, making all these things fit nicely, because you can see that's sticking out. Oh, and the side skirts. I gotta print the side skirts still. I don't have enough plastic to print the side skirts right now, and I still gotta 3D scan the bottom of the car. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. You can see it's nice and smooth. No crazy big bumps or anything. There's one little one here, and then a little one here, and one here, but a little bit of body work will fix that right up. A little bit of block sanding with this will fix that right up. Super excited to start block sanding this. Soon we'll be able to start making molds. Check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel directly and see this content early. The Patreon supporters have already seen the front bumper, and the Patreon supporters also get scans from these projects, STL files for certain products that I make or sell, or certain things I design. Because now comes the really expensive part, which is all the mold making. The mold making materials are gonna cost a lot of money. So I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this and the engine build. So yeah, it would really help out if you guys check out the Patreon. If you don't wanna check out the Patreon, check out the merch, like this R. Kelly, Do You Have Your Passport t-shirt, and many others. I draw all my shirts myself, all my designs, everything I do all by myself. I don't, you know, hire anybody on Fiverr or whatever to design some crappy stuff. That's gonna be it for this one, Ding Dongs. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, stay sweet, and I'll see you guys next week. And hopefully I'll see you at the meet on Saturday, May 17th, 10 a.m. Be there. See you guys then.
America, America. Do you have your passport? Did you get